egregious and disgusting, to be quite honest with you. More so that way is that they did it for him. He's the last person in the world who deserves it. Not the talent, he deserves all of it. As somebody who is trustworthy, hell no. And the Brooklyn Nets, in my opinion, were rude today. They made this decision.
I just want to be honest. Stephen A is completely full of shit. I don't know what behooves this motherfucker to actually go after a player like that. Regardless of your beliefs that you should get vaccinated or you shouldn't get vaccinated, you shouldn't have a choice in the matter. Being forced is being forced. A lot of people I work with, whatever, say, oh, it's not being forced. You got a choice. No, you don't. You telling the person you can't feed your family. You're going to be on the street. Your family going to be on your street. Wife, children, whatever, if you don't get vaccinated. Bullshit. That's not a choice. That's a gun to your fucking head. You lose everything if you don't do it, right? Somebody said, hey, put that shit to your head and told you straight up, yo, look, if you don't comply or do this, I'm laying one off in your fucking dome. What you gonna do? Think about that. People don't look at it like that. So when you look at it in that aspect, that's a gun to your head mentality. Joe Biden don't give a fuck. Get vaccinated. He said straight up, you talking to a person, look, it ain't Republican or Democrats for me. It's for what's right. I'm going to choose the person who clearly connects with most of my values at that point in time when it comes to a presidential standpoint. But using the gun to the head mentality, Joe Biden, what you going to do if they don't do it?
Those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price. The vaccinated will continue to be protected, but others may not.
Well, they should lose their jobs. I'm paraphrasing. At the end of the day, what Stephen A. Smith is doing is the total opposite of what Kyrie Irving is doing. So most people who really evaluate the situation, they both have strong platforms. One is using his platform to tear another man down for his beliefs or what he wants to do. The other is using his platform to try to implement pro-choice, meaning you can make a decision on this, that, and the other, regardless of the motherfucking mandates. Now, let's understand this. Stephen A. Smith talking about Kyrie shouldn't get a long-term deal. The office term for that shit above the line, below the line. Corporations and stuff would know that some type of management, tell them something good. You tell a person something good, but you really going below the line to tell a person something bad. Or to switch it around, you tell a person something bad, but you got to go right back above the line to tell them something good. This is exactly what Stephen A. Smith is doing.
Kyrie Irving is a superstar. Box office. I would pay Kyrie Irving $50 million a year as a talent. I want to announce to the world today, anybody who gives Kyrie Irving more than a one-year deal at a time are the stupidest people on the planet. He would never get another long-term deal from me.
You know, you full of shit, but you a good person. Kyrie Irving, they should pay you $50 million for a year. You know what? Whoever decides to give you a long-term deal is stupid. What the fuck are you talking about? You bashing this dude so much, you don't understand the impact that he would have to face because of your platform. While Kyrie Irving himself have to sit here and endure this for the rest of his career. Yeah, he missed a lot of games in his career. Yeah, he was always injury prone. Yeah, he always wanted to stand for something. This dude aspired to be something bigger than a basketball player, and that's really what it is. So he called these people puppets for a reason. They all saying people in the organizations are puppets to the media, and the media is puppets to something bigger. And that's all he's trying to tell you. But at the end of the day, no one's understanding that because they keep calling him crazy for doing basic shit. He's burning sage. They laughing at him.
A lot of positive energy. You know, we saw the shot of you burning sage before the game. Feel like it served its purpose, and could we see more of it before games moving forward?
However, I do feel like there's probably potential hurdle burning something inside a building. I feel like that may be an...
It's a lot of people that burn fucking sage. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy to me. I really look at this and say, damn, what the fuck is the problem with you, Stephen A? You get paid well. You got a giant platform. You have a #1 show on ESPN. He act like it's in the fucking world, but on ESPN, which ESPN ratings have been low. So what that says about you? I've been watching First Take for years. He got Max Kellerman fired because the dude was a numbers guy, and Stephen A. Smith liked to speak off of eye candy and motherfucking emotions. As of on December 21st, 2021, when he made that broadcast on First Take bashing Kyrie Irving again, What Stephen A. Smith is doing is bashing this dude to the extent where Brooklyn Nets won't be able to trade. Media has a direct effect on the NBA. Why? Because they have a contract with the NBA. ESPN, what I'm talking about. Fox Sports, what I'm talking about. TNT, what I'm talking about. So when news broadcasters broadcast this shit, they really have this direct effect on NBA execs to make a certain decision. They put pressure on them, and they have to comply with it because ultimately these contracts that they have with them, ESPN, who's under Disney, is paying the fuck out of them. Fox, who's under Disney now, is paying the fuck out of them. TNT, so on and so forth. You see the billionaires using some of this money to pay these players. If a person try to argue with me and say the media don't have nothing to do with decisions and blah, blah, yes, hell, they do. Who you think votes for the MVP? Who you think votes for Defensive Player of the Year? Most Improved Player? When these analysts get on, the so-called analysts, because half of them ain't even played a damn sport in their lives, or they played little of that sport and didn't make it. But these players made it. And then some of these players that get on here and that have made it wasn't even good enough to even hold a counter to half of the players they talking about. I digress. Let me go back. Listening to this dude go out on a tandem. How it's hurting the Brooklyn Nets? It's going to be hard for them to trade him because people are going to feel like if I want to trade Damian Lillard for Kyrie Irving, they will be bananas. Damian Lillard can't play no defense. So it kind of hurt Brooklyn in the defensive department. But Damian Lillard does have the ability to make up for what he lacked in scoring. Kyrie Irving, his defense has tremendously improved from previous years. All he needs is to be in a place where he can actually play. Brooklyn Nets don't have a choice but to move him. Most of these superstars are locked up on multiple-year deals. It ain't too many left. And the only superstar that's not locked up on multiple-year deals is someone along the lines of James Harden, who is already on his team. You try to trade Kyrie Irving to some place like Portland and try to get Dame, they're going to be like, well, we can't sign the multiple-year deals because we can't trust them. You hear Stephen A. Stephen A. say he heard it through the grapevine. I commend the Brooklyn Nets. I actually admire what the fuck they're doing. The Brooklyn Nets, I admire it. They took a stance on what's important to the organization, and that's winning. I don't give a fuck if Kyrie Irving playing part-time games. At the end of the day, when KD got to sit out because of a COVID protocol and Kyrie is healthy, he can get us the buckets that we need to win that game. When they come back home, KD can do what he do. 3 superstars during the COVID pandemic is all they need to make things successful. But Stephen A. Smith, he don't realize he's hurting that team. What he's doing is he's sabotaging it. While Kyrie Irving ain't worried about Stephen A. Smith. What he's saying is this. People should be pro-choice. People should decide on if they want to get the vaccination or not. They force feeding this damn vaccine to all the players, whether they want to do it or not. And these players are looking like, okay, I want to win this. A lot of the lower level teams, there's a lot of people sitting there that's not vaccinated at all. Bradley Beal, one of the people. Bradley Beal can't get traded to a place like New York. So they got to let that idea go. Kyrie Irving get traded most of the other places. He can go to New Orleans. He can go to Texas. Anywhere in Texas. He can go to the Rockets. They can get Christian Wood and Gordon. Like, they can really get players to come to Brooklyn. They can actually contribute as soon as they get there. Understand this. Even they love to say this statement. You're going to rule the day.
Kevin Durant made the wrong decision by going to the New York Knicks. He's going to rue the day that he did that. And the Brooklyn Nets, in my opinion, will rue the day they made this decision.
Honestly, I think it's going to work out for him. Whether Kyrie Irving stay on the team and leave in free agency, or Kyrie Irving is ultimately traded for a bigger piece. Whatever the Brooklyn Nets decision is, I feel like it's going to work out in the end. The only problem they do have is the pandemic. If they only have to battle that, they can really get through it. I do believe they may stop letting people in the stadium after a while. They can't keep bringing people in the stadium and they're hurting the team by doing that. This is being real. You got thousands of people around you screaming, yelling. Some people taking their mask off. They got to eat. They got to drink, so on and so forth. And you out on the court breathing in all that air. You're going to eventually catch the COVID. And let that shit happen in the playoffs. It's going to hurt the NBA even more. I know the millionaires and the billionaires want to make all this money. But if you really want to slow it down, y'all going to have to go back to doing somewhat of what y'all was doing before. So, Stephen A. Smith is full of shit. He needs to leave Kyrie Irving alone. And he needs to learn to stand for something other than himself. Stephen A. Smith is one of the most open, materialistic sport analysts on television. The person that's ruled by the cream, I mean shit. You already know the saying, cream. Cash rules everything around me. Well, shit, cream. Cash rule everything around him. What he's doing is tarnishing the trade value of Kyrie Irving. Eventually, he's going to rule the day he said that. Let's see what the future holds, man. I see dead people coming out of their grave, laughing, girl.
see you walking